Hello everybody, this is Business 101. My name is Mr. Fussell. Today we're going to be going over the production process. This is for GCSE Business Studies for the AQA exam board. Now let's jump in. What is the production process? Well, a business must choose the right production method to suit its needs. They also have a choice between keeping surplus stock or using just-in-time stock control in order to meet customer demand. An important area of a business is operations. This functional area oversees taking inputs and turning them into outputs. This is known as the production process. So let's go over the methods of production now, shall we? So we have job production. Job production occurs when a business produces products that meet the specific requirements of the customer. Each time a new product is made, changes may need to be made to the production process. Some examples of job production may include made-to-measure clothes and handmade crafts and bridges. So let's go over the advantages and disadvantages of job production. So advantages first. The business may be able to charge a higher price for the product. Products are likely to be high quality, and the variety of work may mean employees are less likely to become bored and demotivated whilst at work. And then the disadvantages of job production, these are that it is expensive to produce as each product is different, and employees need to be skilled and may require additional training as production changes. Now let's move on to flow production. So flow production occurs when a business makes large numbers of identical products on a continuous production line. Some examples of flow production include chocolate bars, televisions, and bottled drinks. So these are things that are mass produced. So mass produce all to be the same. So like cans of Coca-Cola. Now let's go over advantages and disadvantages of flow production. So again, advantages first. The business can produce large volumes of products. Employees can specialize in a small number of tasks. This is known as division of labor. And producing in large quantities reduces the cost per unit. So this is economies of scale. And now let's move on to the disadvantages of flow production. So what are they? High initial costs of machinery to set up the business. A lack of flexibility as all products need to be identical or fairly similar. Employees may become bored or demotivated due to their limited range of tasks, and large investment is needed into things like expensive machinery, which may lead to increased risks. Okay, furthermore, let's talk about efficiency in the methods of production. So efficiency measures how well a business uses its resources to make its products or provide its service. The lower the number of inputs needed, the more efficient the business is. So efficiency can be measured using cost per unit. So let's go over an example. A business is producing 10,000 units at a cost of £10,000. This means they have a cost per unit of £1. So for every unit, they are spending £1, okay? But if the business makes some changes and can now produce 10,000 units at a cost of £7,500, their cost per unit has gone down to 75 pence, so £0.75 per unit. And for that reason, they have become more efficient in their production. So what does efficiency within businesses depend on? Well, let's go over a couple of things that will depend on. Employee motivation, the skills of the managers, the quality of the suppliers, investment in technology, and how the products are made. So certain products will innately be more difficult and harder to streamline the production process for, simply because of how that product or service is. But with most things, there are ways to streamline production with investment and training. Now let's go on to something called lean production. So one way a business can become more efficient is through lean production. This aims to reduce waste during the production process. So waste includes throwing away products that haven't been sold, time employees waste not working due to delays in production, faulty products that have to be remade, stock that is damaged or stolen, and holding too much stock that costs money to be stored. Okay? So when talking about lean production, we have two main key techniques, these being Kaizen and just-in-time production. So Kaizen means continuous improvement. So this makes all employees responsible for suggesting ways that the business can improve the production process. This is usually done every day in teams, and employees are encouraged to think about the day before and how things could have been done better. So they're always asking their staff for ideas on how they think the process can be streamlined and made more efficient. So that's Kaizen. Now let's talk about just-in-time, also known as JIT, stock control. Okay, so just-in-time is a stock control method where the business doesn't store any raw materials. Instead, it has regular deliveries that bring only what is needed before its existing raw materials run out. So buffer stock is not needed, okay? The business orders smaller but more frequent quantities of stock that are taken straight to the production line on the factory floor. So for this method of stock control to be effective, a business needs a good relationship with its suppliers. Suppliers will ideally be local to reduce both delivery costs and lead time. JIT stock control can have disadvantages though. So for example, there may be times where a business runs out of stock because of late deliveries, right? Or because they forgot to order in the next batch of their stock, in time. So let's talk about some more advantages and some disadvantages of just-in-time stock control. So let's do advantages first. Number one, the business can remove any buffer stock space they had, which would previously have been used for storage, meaning more space can be used for production. Smaller but more frequent deliveries mean that the products will be fresher. So this is a benefit for fresh goods like vegetables, food, that kind of stuff. A business can also have new stock delivered more frequently. This is particularly important for perishable items such as fruit and vegetables, like I just mentioned. The business will no longer have large amounts of capital tied up in stock that could go out of date or out of fashion. So this capital can then be reinvested or spent elsewhere. Having less stock that could go out of date will reduce waste and increase the amount that you can save, so it'll increase savings. And JIT reduces production costs, allowing the business to price its products to give it a more competitive advantage, something that all businesses will strive to attain. Now let's go over a couple of the disadvantages of just-in-time stock control. So number one, it can be hard for businesses to react to unexpected changes in demand, for example, a heat wave causing an increase in the demand for ice cream. Businesses are unable to use bulk buy discounts if they only buy in small quantities, so it's kind of taking away your ability to get economies of scale in this aspect. And customers could receive a poor service if the business misjudges the amount of stock it needs and allows products to go out of stock. Lean production and employees. So for lean production to be successful, the employees of the business are very important. Any industrial action, such as strikes, could be very damaging if a business is using just-in-time production, as there will be no spare stock. For Kaizen to work, employees need to be motivated and committed to improving the business. To avoid waste, employees need to be trained to check quality at every stage of the process and to send work back if it is faulty. And finally, managers and employees need to work together to ensure lean production methods are carried out correctly. And that is everything for today's lesson, guys. Please leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions that were not answered in this video. Leave a like on the video if it helped you revise or learn anything new, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We'll be posting many more lessons in the future, all surrounding business studies, and I really hope you guys are here for that. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Goodbye.